I think we will begin. So I have a little confession before we begin, that I put a cake in the oven and it's about to bing in about 5 minutes for me to take it out. So I'll just take a really quick nip to take a cake out the oven in a second. So yes, sorry about that. But anyway, let's dive on in. Welcome to today's weekly live show. My name is Laura Green. I am a yoga teacher, a business mentor for yoga teachers, and just a lover of all things yoga. Today might still be a little short. I am not feeling 100% well. As you know, I'm still getting over COVID and yeah, feeling not the best today, but getting there. So today's topic is about what can we learn and apply from the lessons of yoga philosophy into our yoga business. And take me with a pinch of salt. I'm feeling a little bit fiery this week, but I hope some of this resonates with you. So do let me know your thoughts in the comments. So let's have a think about yoga philosophy. As we know, as yoga teachers, it is about learning to live the path of our yoga. You know, it's not just those asanas on the mat, but really learning to live the path of yoga. And we have a wealth of yoga philosophy to inspire us on how to do that. Now, at first glance, yoga philosophy can seem a little overwhelming and that there is so much of it. But actually, the more and more I study and work with yoga philosophy, the more simple it appears to be to me. And first and foremost, I think a lot of yoga philosophy is teaching one lesson. It is teaching one lesson and it is expressing it in a multitude of different ways. And that one lesson is to look through the illusion, the maya, of separation. And to see the truth that everything is one. And this philosophy is expressed in so many different ways, with different words and different nuances, so that it can resonate with us. But it's really that underpinning lesson that we see this separation. We see this individual self as a separate to every other being, to nature, to the world, to the universe as a whole, rather than seeing that we are all connected. You know, that very simple visual analogy of it as, you know, the ocean. We are all the ocean. We manifest as individual unique waves, and when that wave is gone, it passes back into the ocean, into this cosmic energy. And then so much else within yoga is simply tools for self-mastery to help us not just to understand this philosophy, but to feel it and live it. Okay, so how does this relate to our yoga business? First and foremost, it's seeing through the lens of isolation and seeing that as yoga teachers, first and foremost, we are community builders. As soon as we step out from the isolation of me, teacher, you students, my students, your students, of all of this kind of separation, and realize that we are coming together, we are unifying together as yoga teachers, building communities. So that's one way of every day living that yoga philosophy of looking through the illusion of separation and seeing that we are all one by making your first and foremost goal to build community. So I set you an extra bit of homework last week to reach out to another yoga teacher and invite them for tea. Invite them for tea, invite them for cake. That is a real life step that you can take to remove this separation. When we see other yoga teachers as competition, we are making separation. Okay? So that was a simple way of living this. When you're showing up on social media, you're not that separation of me going up to post something, but me going on social media to build community, to build connections, to open dialogues with potential students so that we can notice our connections. Now that's the oven timer. Please, I beg you, stay with me for 30 seconds. I've got to get a cake out of the oven. I'm back, I'm coming. So that is said cake out of oven, which is really me practicing what I preach. Because who do you think I've made cake for? 2 other yoga teachers who are coming around this evening so that we can collaborate together. Oh, I wish, it's in the kitchen. I can show you the cake at the end. It's not exciting. It's exciting to eat, but not to look at. Okay, so what's another way that we can be seeing this connection, this community? Collaborating with other yoga teachers. That doesn't mean that you have to go and host a workshop together. Start with just having tea and cake, having conversation, peeling back that avidya, that net curtain, that perspective that makes us see competition. There's competition because you see it. Remove it and it's not there, okay? So another piece of yoga philosophy. Now this is something that has been my guiding piece of philosophy for probably 15, 16 years, something like that. It is from the Bhagavad Gita and it is chapter 2, verse 47. You have a right to do your labor, to do your duties, a right to work, to do your Dharma. But you do not have a right to the fruits of your labor. Now, this is what I really do want to talk about today. And this is what makes me feel a little bit fiery. So take me with a pinch of salt. We have to remove expectation and entitlement, okay? So I see time and time again, teachers set up new classes, new workshops, new events, and not give them the work, the time, the patience, and the consistency for them to be successful. I created a beginner's yoga course. I put it online, I shared it on Facebook. Only 4 people have booked, okay? I'm not covering my whole hire. This sense of entitlement, I know it comes from a place of fear, but we have got to walk the path of yoga. We are entitled to do our work. We are not entitled to the fruits of that labor, okay? So when we go, I'm not covering my whole hire, I'm just going to give up, or it is not helping us, okay? We have to focus on doing the work and releasing the attachment to the results. So when someone's setting up a new class, part of the work is showing up week in, week out for at least a year. Give that class time to build. Don't think by putting up one poster in a village hall, that class is going to sold out and you'll be making profit for forever more. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. It takes time and patience. And the problem is when we have this expectation that your classes will fill out and they'll stay filled out, and when someone comes for a new first free class, they'll be back every week afterwards. When we attach to that and the results don't come, then we take it personally. And that's the next line in the Bhagavad Gita. Do not attach the results to being about you. We have to step away from this and stop thinking that the number of yoga students that are in a class are a reflection of our teaching skills. Normally they're a reflection of have you done the work in telling people about the class. And this comes into being prepared to do the work. And this makes me think about what has happened in the evolution of Zoom and online yoga. And I said, I apologize, I am feeling fiery today, so do take me with a pinch of salt. But Zoom has been an amazing thing for us. It has enabled us to teach online during a pandemic. But to hone your craft as a yoga teacher, in my fiery opinion, you need to be teaching in person. You can also be teaching online. You know, I teach online 5 times a week. You can also be teaching online, but the work of teaching yoga and honing your craft, it needs to be done in person, in real life, where you can see, first and foremost, bodies moving. You can see souls moving. You can see energy moving. You can connect with your students. You can have real life in-person conversations. And a lot of newer teachers are saying to me, I want to build my classes online. And I ask why. And they say, it's more convenient for me. Okay? I don't have the cost of hall hire. We are doing our Dharma. We are doing our work. It is not about it being convenient. It is about showing up and doing the work the best we can. And if you are prepared to do the work, get out into your community. Hone your teaching skills, teaching people face to face. And then potentially supplement that with online if you're drawn to it. Okay? Doing the work comes into how you are marketing your classes. You know, I mentor, I see the direct results of when I ask someone to go and do a flyer drop for their class on a Sunday with the right flyer, it delivers results. If you think flyering doesn't work, it's because either your flyer design wasn't very good, you didn't flyer drop on a Sunday, or you paid someone else to flyer drop. If you flyer drop on a Sunday with a good flyer, it will bring students. Is flyer dropping a pain in the backside? It sure is. One of my trainees who graduated last year, Zanita, in November, she sent me a photograph of her step counter. She did 23,000 steps one Sunday flyer dropping. She had her class the following Monday and Tuesday, and there were students. Okay? Being consistent on social media, that is doing the work. Going live on videos, that is doing the work. Sharing in yoga groups, that is doing the work. So if you want to attract new students, do the work. Don't select what feels convenient. Okay? And then this brings me into 3 other yoga philosophy words that I wanted to introduce today. And one of them, it's 2. It's 2 of the kleshas of raga and devesha. Raga and devesha. Now these are 2 of the kleshas, 2 of the toxins, 2 of the sufferings that hold us back from realizing this truth that we are all one. Now, raga is this attachment to things we like, attachment to our comfort zone, attachment to our safety, attachment to just doing what we like. Okay? And then devesha is our repulsion from the things we don't like, being scared of doing the things we don't like, of putting ourselves out there. And yes, in business, we have to do things that at first we don't like. So Samantha, who is in my current mentorship program, I said to her, Samantha, have you been posting in Facebook groups? No, I don't like Facebook groups. So there we instantly have the devesha, the repulsion from something she doesn't like. I don't like Facebook groups. Why don't you like Facebook groups, Sam? Have you ever tried posting in them? No. Now, Samantha is amazing. She's prepared to do the work. So I said, Samantha, go and find all of the Facebook groups in your local area. Create a consistent plan using a spreadsheet of what the group is, what the group rules are, when you post, what you post, and show up weekly. And you know what? She filled her classes, she filled her online course, and she got most of her students from Facebook groups. Same with Madly, who is in my mentorship at the moment. She has a brand new course, brand new venue, new everything, starting on Monday. It's sold out from posting in groups. Now, initially, both of these people had devesha, had repulsion from that idea of marketing. Okay? But that was going to stop them. When we're constantly pulled between like and dislike, we're not helping ourselves. Okay? Whereas if we just walk the path, walk that path between it, not being pulled between the two. Okay, now sometimes we don't like things and we can stay within our comfort zone. It's just saying I'm not being constantly pulled from pillar to post between like and dislike. I'm just going to show up, back to the Bhagavad Gita, I'm going to show up and do my duties, do my work. Okay? And then lastly, that brings me to asmita. Now asmita is another one of the kleshas. And asmita is about moving away from the ego of I and into the world of we. And this brings me full circle back to what we were talking to at the beginning. Keep thinking about we. We. When you go into a yoga class, it's not I, the teacher, and you, the students. It is we. And together, we are going to take a journey through yoga. Okay? It's we. When you are sharing online, what are we learning? When we're here in this dialogue now, what are we doing to elevate? Okay? To elevate the teachings of yoga. So I know it's a little all over the place today, but let's just recap through that quickly. So it's that heart of yoga philosophy of looking through the illusion of separation and coming into the universal truth that we are all one. Okay? Letting that be at the heart of your teaching. Seeing the we. Seeing the we. Okay? Remembering the Bhagavad Gita. Do the work without an entitlement to the results of that action. Okay? Silly example of this. 3 weeks ago, I did a little push on a free first class. I had 12 students sign up for a free first class. I had no expectation that any of those 12 students would turn up for their free class. But I still did the steps. I sent them an email thanking them for turning up. I sent them a message on the day going, hey, looking forward to meeting you at class today. Do you have a mat? Do you need anything? I still did the work, but I didn't go in expecting to see those 12 students. Of the 12, I actually saw 9 of them. I then did the work. I saw them as a we had connections. I followed up with them afterwards with zero expectation that I would ever see them again. But I did the work to cherish and nourish them. Of those 9 that turned up for the free first class, this week, 3 of them came back and paid. Okay? And I am so delighted for that. But that was 3 out of 12. And I'm happy with that because I had no expectation to get the fruits of the labor. If you turn up to teach a class and there's 1 student, be so damn thankful. Do the work and teach them the best class you know how, and then next week fly a drop. So 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3. But let's step away from this attaching to the outcome. Okay? Do the work, serve. You can see this is the very essence of my model. Serve and thrive. Serve. Serve, serve. The rest comes afterwards. Okay, and raga and devesha, stop being at the mercy of your likes and your dislikes. Do the work. Do the work. And asmita, put at the heart of it the we. Okay, So thank you for joining me for that today. I hope that it resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments what did resonate with you, any thoughts, any questions, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye, my loves.